P's. The PR interval is normal. The QRS is normal. The heart rate is what? Heart rate's about 90. So this is a normal sinus rhythm. What about this one? Yeah, I see some PVCs.
Second degree.
Brady Carter.
Wait, there's a... Wait.
So we have a regular beat, a PVC, a regular beat, a regular beat, a PVC, a regular beat, a regular beat, a PVC, and then a regular beat. Is between here and here the same distance as between here and here?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my underlying rhythm. There's my P wave right there. So I know this is sinus. So it's sinus. There's a PVC, and there's a PVC. So the closest I see is normal sinus with PVCs. Yeah? Sure? Yes. So it's E.
Oh,
that's
no,
that.
it's a point. Yeah.
Dressage de Points. And the treatment is magnesium.
Where's the P? Oh.
There's a sinus Brady.
Well, no,
There's no P, so it can't be sinus. Is atrial fib with a controlled rate? Nope. Is this regular? Junctional rhythm? Yes.
Yeah, because it's true, right?
Is it a second degree type 2?
No.
Is it a third degree? Idioventricular rhythm? It's not. Idioventricular would be coming from the ventricles, your QRS would be very wide. So we know it's not that, 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 so it has to be that. It is a junctional rhythm. Tell me what you know. Regular? Yes. PR interval?
Yes. No, there's no P.
Is there
There's
a
what?
little one? There's a little one.
And what do we know when that P wave starts to encroach on that QRS? Where does it come from? Where is the pacemaker moved to? Close to what? It's low in, it's now down in the junction because we know the PR interval is very close to the QRS. What's our heart rate? What's normal? Tell me what. Normal's not going to be on the exam. It's going to have. You got to give me a number. It's what?
60 to 100.
It's about 80. Okay, so we have a regular rhythm. Your PR interval is there, but it's very, very small. Normal sinus, now you know with normal sinus you have a PR interval that's 0.12 to 0.20.
Oh, yeah.
So here's your P wave right there. It's right up against, so we know that the pacemaker has moved down towards the junction. Right? So because it's moved down towards the junction, but the heart rate is 80, so we know that the junction fires between 40 to 60, so when it goes above 60, it's what kind of junction rhythm?
Accelerated.
Accelerated. This is an accelerated junctional rhythm. You sure?
Third degree. Third degree.
What are these? We just talked about it.
Those are the pacers.
Oh, pacers.
That's, is it BK spiders? Wait, no. Wait, yeah, because
There's not.
There's not-
The
Yeah.
pacer spike comes before what? The atria or the ventricular?
Atria.
Is it between your P wave, before your P wave, or before your QRS? So it's a what type of pacer? Ventricular pacemaker. Okay. So let's forget these three and let's talk about these three.
Yeah.
Because we got a ventricular pacemaker going on. Is it non-sensing? Is it 100% capture?
It's not.
Which is not that, so let's throw that one out.
Failure.
Is it failure to capture or is it non-sensing?
I'm
I
not sure
think
which
it's
one
failure
it
to
is.
capture.
Right, because it didn't capture the beat.
Yeah.
So this is ventricular pace with failure to capture.
Oh, there's this one.
Wait,
Tell me what you know.
There's pacer spikes.
There's pacer spikes, okay, so we got a pacer. What kind of pacer is it? Atrial pacer, okay? And how do you know that?
for the
It's
P.
before your P wave, okay? So tell me what else you know.
It's atrial.
Regular.
So you got a pacer spike here,
Mhm.
there's nothing here. You got a pacer spike here, there's nothing here. Pacer spike, not a pacer spike, and a pacer spike. We know it's atrial pacer because it's before the P wave, right? So we can throw that one out, we'll throw that one out, we'll throw that one out. Is it sinus rhythm with an atrial pacing?
That's what I would put.
Yeah,
That's what I would
yeah.
Is it sinus rhythm with ventricular
No.
pacing?
No.
Well, let's throw that out. Sinus rhythm with failure to capture?
No.
No. It's sinus rhythm with atrial pacing. This is actually a demand pacemaker. Remember we said on demand? So it fires when needed. So here's a pacer spike because here's one, the regular beat. And it says, you know what? You're taking too damn long. I'm going to fire. Here's the beat.
Oh,
Okay? This one came in just right. So it didn't need the pacer help. Now, you're taking too damn long. I'm going to fire. It fires the beat, the pacemaker. It resets. It says, okay, you did fine. Okay, no pacer needed here. You're taking too damn long. Fire. Okay? That's what on demand means. It's starting to sense. You're taking a little bit too long. I'm going to fire. Okay? What I got? Is it a sinus rhythm? Normal sinus.
Tachycardia for sure,
How do you know?
because there's
The
a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
No,
8,
but the
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 in one stroke.
Okay. So we know it's not normal sinus because the rate's too fast, right? So let's throw that out. Is it a sinus tachycardia?
No.
Well, let's put that in the parking lot. Is it a supraventricular tachycardia?
No, because it's not the ventricle that's contracting, it's more the atrial. I think it's E.
We know with an SVT it has to be at 150 or a faster rate. So this is not that fast because you got
14.
probably around 100 or 110 at that. Okay, so we know it's not A and we know it's not C because it has nice P waves here. And if it was coming in so fast, those P's would probably be encroaching on this T wave. So we know it's not an SVT, so let's mark that out. Atrial fibrillation, we know it's not atrial fib because we got P waves and it's regular. Is it flutter? No, it's not flutter because there's no saw teeth and we got P waves because in flutter we have flutter waves. Is it junctional tachycardia? No, because it has P waves. The PR interval is normal. So it goes back to sinus tachycardia.
What?
I need to
yeah.
because I got confused.
Because
I was
the
trying
T
to
wave
I was
okay,
trying to
now I
say,
see
like,
it.
I was trying to Wait, what?
Yeah, that's all.
PR interval is normal.
Right here, the number.
QRS is normal.
Heart rate from
QT
sinus
is
squared
normal.
And dividing by 1500.
Okay? The only difference is this is coming from the sinus node. It's fast. It's greater than 100. But it's less than 150. What's the first thing we see here? Sawtooth, which is atrial flutter. We know it's not a tachycardia sinus. We know it's not a fibrillation because it's not the F waves. We know it's not junctional, we know it's not VTAC, and we know it's not VFib. It's an atrial flutter. The sawtooth is right there. Okay. What's this?
Sinus brain, yeah. What? No, it's fine. It's regular, right? I mean, rate. I mean, not rate, but rate. The sinus brain.
What is it, guys? Come on.
Sinus brain.
Second degree?
No.
No.
Sinus brain. He's on your own.
Hey. It looks slow. It looks
Hey.
slow.
But I can't.
Is it sinus with a first degree AV block? No, because we see the PR interval is not greater than 0.2. Is it junctional? P. We know it's not junction. Is it a tack? No, it's not that fast. Is it a Brady? No, it's not that slow.
It's normal.
See all the peaks? There's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, QRS.
What's that?
7.78, that's the heart rate.
Where? What are you talking about?
QRS, the tip of the R.
The tip of the R, okay.
Because usually QRS is on a big black line, and in between there's 10.
Right, when you're reading this, like, what do you look at first? What should you know first? The draw picture?
I look to see, do I got P waves?
That's the first thing you notice.
I look at, do I got P waves? And is it regular? So if it got P waves and it's regular, I'm looking at sinus somewhere.
So this strip is.
If there's no P waves, then I'm looking either at junction if it's regular, and if it's irregular, I'm looking at fibrillation, atrial. And if it got flutter waves,
So how
then
did you know that
there's no P waves. But
it wasn't braiding?
that's what I first look at.
It's like everything goes, there's some.
It was
Normal.
Oh, you mean up?
normal.
Yeah, one of those.
So it has to be waves.
The height was.
What do I got?
Count how many of those people, there's like.
Is it a sinus tachycardia?
Yes.
What's the heart rate?
It's really
It's really fast. So we know, do you see P waves?
Yes.
Is that a Ferrari or is that?
Wait, that's a P wave, right? Go to the right a little.
It's like right in there, maybe.
Isn't that the big dot?
That's a T.
Okay,
Yeah.
no P wave.
It could be inside these T waves, but it's coming in so fast. Okay, we know the rate is probably above 150. Is it atrial fib? No. Is it idioventricular? No. Is it VTAC? No. Is it asystole? No. Is it sinus tac? No. SVT? Yes.
I was betting on that.
Yeah.
What do I got?
There's P waves. It's
T.
PHC 10.
Is it normal sinus? Why not?
Right there.
Yes,
See
it
what
is.
I'm saying?
No,
Right there.
Yeah.
There's that.
they all are the same.
No,
Okay.
look right there in the.
So we have sinus beat, sinus beat, sinus beat, sinus beat. And it says sinus beat, it'll come in early. Sinus, sinus, sinus. So we got sinus with an early beat. Okay? Is it normal sinus? Probably the underlying rhythm, but we got an early beat coming in. Is it sinus with a PAC? Most likely, because we got this nice little early beat that comes right here. It looks just like all the other ones here. Is it sinus rhythm with a PJC? No, because we haven't even talked about PJC, so that's a premature junctional contraction. Normal sinus with a first degree with a PR interval is normal. Second degree, no. Sinus rhythm with a PVC, that's not a PVC. This beat here looks just like these beats. It's not wide and bizarre looking. This is sinus rhythm with a PAC.
This is good, actually.
So what am I saying?
Thanksgiving.
What do I got? Tell me. Is it sinus tack? Is it sinus tack?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me see your glasses. Do you see P waves?
No.
Thank you. Do you see P waves? Thank you. So we know it's not a sinus tack, and then we go to sinus rhythm. We already said it's not sinus tack, so throw out sinus rhythm because we know it's not. SVT. That's too irregular to be SVT, right? So let's throw that one out. Atrial fibrillation.
Yeah.
Let's put that in the parking lot. Flutter. Did I see flutter? No, throw that one out. Junctional.
No.
It's irregular. So let's go back to the parking lot. Take this one out. It's atrial fibrillation. And why? It's irregular. There's no P waves. You got fibrillatory waves in here. Okay. The defining characteristic, irregular rhythm. No P waves. What do I got?
Yeah. Wait, is it getting longer?
Are the people?
Is it like
That's the T.
D? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Positive.
Yes.
Let's put it in the parking lot.
Can you put that on our test, the parking lot answer?
I know.
Option 2.
Okay. Looking at this rhythm, I got a hole going on right here, right? And I look before that, I see a P wave all by itself, so I know I dropped the beat. I go back to this one, okay, measure this. Then I measure this one. Oh, this is longer, this is shorter. Then I measure this one.
Shorter.
Oh my. So our wave, the PR is getting progressively longer and longer, and then it drops. We have a second degree AV block type 1, otherwise known as Winky Bop, correct?
What makes it a type 2?
I know you knew that.
What makes it a type 2?
Type 1.
What makes it a type 2?
if they're all the same?
Second degree AV block type 1, Winky Bop.
No, but it's
Not a type 2.
What makes type 2? Brett just dropped it in your face.
It's not a type 2, it's a type 1.
What would it make it a type 2?
What
What
would
would
make it a
make
type 2?
Oh, type 2 is you have, if you have PR, the PR interval is not going to get longer than drop. Your PR interval will be consistent in a type 2, but you're going to have more P's than QRS.
Oh, there it is.
in the 2.
In type 2, you have more P's than QRS's. You will have a constant PR interval,
Oh.
okay? But you got more P's than QRS's. In a type 1 is your PR is getting longer, then drops. In a type 2, you got consistent PR intervals, but you got more P's than QRS's.
So 2 couples.
What do I got?
Than 1.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
E.
Uh-huh. No.
Wait,
E.
Well, that parking lot's getting full. Okay, when I look at this rhythm, is it regular? Yes, it is. I got more P's than QRS's. And when I look at the PR interval, when it's there, it's pretty consistent.
So that's
There's more P's than QRS's. We got a constant PR interval. We just talked about this. This is a second degree AV block type 2. Which is an emergency because it can go into what? A complete heart block. And the treatment of this is pacemaker. Damn, you're good.
Yeah.
C.
Wait.
What do I got here?
P's do separated.
Is it regular? Okay. Is it P for every QRS?
Yeah.
Okay. What my defining thing is that I look at right here is that I notice that the PR interval is too long.
Yeah.
Okay?
C. We see.
And when I look at, let's see, which beat, even this beat here, if it was, this was a little bit over here, I mean, from here to here, we're almost looking at one full box, which we already know is 0.2. This is a hell of a lot bigger than 0.2, so I know I got a first degree AV block there, right? Okay. We have sinus rhythm going on, because we got P's for every QRS, so we know it came from the sinus node. It's just taken a long time to get down to the AV node, so your PR interval is a little bit longer. So we have a sinus rhythm with a first degree AV block.
Observation. Observe.
Okay? What I got? F.
He's just thinking.
Is it a sinus bradycardia? No, it's not. Is it a junctional rhythm? No, it's not. Is it a sinus rhythm with a first degree? No. Second degree AV block type 1? No. Second degree AV block type 2? Is it a complete heart block, otherwise known as a third degree heart block?
Well, that's all that's left.
Yes, it is a complete heart block because your P waves are doing their own thing, your QRSs are doing their own thing. They're not talking to each other. Okay. What I got?
D.
C. C.
Oh, that's right.
Picket fence. When I said picket fence, what I was talking about? V-tac. It's not torsades, not the twisting up and down. You're getting smaller, bigger.
SVT.
This is ventricular tachycardia. Wide, very wide, so we know this came from the ventricles.
E. E.
This is the ride to the morgue.
Small little hill.
I see a feeling.
This is right before the ride to the morgue.
Ventricular fibrillation. E.
E.
What's happening here? Ventricular fibrillation. That's it.
That's it? Okay.
Okay.